Yeti Airlines Flight 691, Nepal's deadliest aviation tragedy. On January 15, 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691, an ATR 72500, operated a routine domestic flight from Tribhuvan International Airport, KTM, in Kathmandu to Pokhara International Airport, PKR. It was supposed to be a short and uneventful 25-minute journey. However, in the final moments of landing, the aircraft suddenly rolled to the left, lost control, and crashed into the Seti River Gorge, killing all 72 people on board. This disaster became Nepal's worst aviation accident in over 30 years and sent shockwaves across the global aviation community. The flight, a routine journey turns deadly Flight 691, took off from Kathmandu at 10:32 a.m. local time with 68 passengers and 4 crew members on board. The aircraft was an ATR 72500, a twin-engine turboprop commonly used for regional flights. The captain, Anju Khatiwada, was an experienced pilot with over 6,300 flight hours, while the co-pilot Deepak Dahal had around 5,000 hours of experience. The weather in Pokhara was reported to be clear and suitable for landing. The pilots opted for a visual approach to runway 12 at the newly inaugurated Pokhara International Airport, a modern facility designed to handle increasing air traffic in the region. At 10:56 a.m., the aircraft contacted Pokhara ATC and was cleared for landing. Everything seemed normal. However, just minutes later, disaster struck. The tragic final moments as Flight 691 descended toward Pokhara, a chilling moment was captured on a Facebook Live video from inside the cabin. The footage, taken by a passenger, showed the plane flying normally before suddenly rolling sharply to the left. At 10:57 a.m., in the final moments before impact, the aircraft rolled to the left at a dangerously high bank angle. The nose pitched up momentarily, then rapidly lost altitude. Witnesses saw the aircraft suddenly drop out of the sky, flipping over before crashing into the Seti River Gorge. A massive fireball erupted as the aircraft hit the ground, sending thick black smoke billowing into the sky. The crash site, located just 1.5 kilometers from the airport, became the center of Nepal's worst aviation disaster in decades. The aftermath. Rescue and devastation. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but the impact had been catastrophic. The aircraft was completely destroyed, with debris scattered across the Seti River Gorge. The crash site was difficult to access, making rescue efforts challenging. Despite immediate response efforts, no survivors were found. Among the 72 fatalities were Nepali citizens, 53, Indians, 5, Russians, 4, South Koreans, 2, Australians, 1, British nationals, 1. The tragedy was particularly heartbreaking for Captain Anju Khatiwada, as she was the widow of a Yeti Airlines pilot who had died in a crash in 2006. She had pursued aviation in honor of her late husband, only to meet a similar fate. Investigation: what went wrong? In the immediate aftermath, Nepal's Aircraft Accident Investigation Commission, AAIC, launched an inquiry into the cause of the accident. The cockpit voice recorder, CVR, and flight data recorder, FDR, were recovered and sent to France for analysis. Key findings from the investigation: propellers entered feather mode. Mid-air flight data showed that both propellers entered feather mode, meaning they stopped producing thrust. This caused a sudden and catastrophic loss of power just before landing. Pilot error suspected. The investigation revealed a critical mistake by the pilots. Instead of lowering the flaps during approach, the captain accidentally shut down both engines. This meant the aircraft had no power during its final descent. Unrecoverable loss of control. With both engines disabled, the aircraft rapidly lost speed and lift, leading to a high-angle stall. The pilots were unable to recover in time, causing the plane to roll sharply and crash. Challenges of flying in Nepal has a long history of aviation accidents, primarily due to mountainous terrain. Nepal's geography makes flying difficult, with high peaks, deep valleys and unpredictable winds. Short, difficult runways. Many airports are located in challenging areas, requiring precision approaches. Aging fleet and safety concerns. Nepalese airlines have faced concerns over maintenance and pilot training. This accident reinforced the European Union's decision to blacklist Nepalese airlines due to ongoing safety risks. Lessons from the tragedy. The Yeti Airlines Flight 691 disaster became a wake-up call for Nepal's aviation sector. Authorities have since emphasized the need for better pilot training and simulator programs, improved maintenance and safety checks, more advanced air traffic control systems. Families of the victims continue to demand accountability and stricter safety regulations. The tragedy serves as a grim reminder of the risks of flying in Nepal, and the importance of human factors in aviation safety. Final thoughts. The loss of 72 lives on Flight 691 marked one of the darkest days in Nepal's aviation history. The harrowing final moments, captured in video footage, will forever haunt those who witnessed it. While the investigation provided answers, it also raised serious concerns about pilot training and aircraft safety protocols. Aviation authorities must work tirelessly to ensure that such a disaster never happens again. Critical pilot error led to a catastrophic engine shutdown. The investigation into Yeti Airlines Flight 691 revealed that pilot error played a crucial role in the disaster. The final report indicated that during the aircraft's approach to Pokhara International Airport, the pilots mistakenly shut down both engines instead of deploying the flaps. This critical miscalculation led to an irrecoverable loss of thrust, ultimately causing the aircraft to stall and crash. How did the error happen? Flap selection confusion during the final approach. The captain called for flaps deployment, a standard procedure to reduce speed and increase lift for landing. Instead of adjusting the flap lever, the co-pilot mistakenly pulled the condition levers, which control the fuel supply to the engines. This action caused both propellers to enter feather mode, meaning they were no longer generating thrust. Sudden loss of power. The ATR 72500 is designed to continue flying with one engine, but in this case both engines lost thrust simultaneously, leaving the aircraft completely powerless. The pilots did not immediately realize their mistake, believing the engines were still operational. Delayed recognition and failed recovery. As the aircraft lost speed, its angle of attack increased, leading to an aerodynamic stall. By the time the pilots recognized the issue, altitude was too low for any meaningful recovery. Within seconds, the aircraft rolled to the left, lost control and plummeted into the Seti River Gorge, crashing with no chance of survival. Why did this mistake happen? High workload in final approach. Pilots must handle multiple tasks during landing, including monitoring altitude, airspeed, and power settings. In high-stress situations, misidentifying controls can occur. Lack of cross-checking. Standard operating procedures require pilots to confirm critical actions verbally. In this case, the co-pilot's action went unverified, leading to disaster. Possible training gaps. The investigation suggested that the pilots may not have been adequately trained for such scenarios, raising concerns about human factor errors in Nepal's aviation industry. Lessons learned. Enhanced crew resource management. Pilots must rigorously cross-check each other's actions to prevent similar errors. Simulator training for high-stress situations. More realistic emergency scenario training can help pilots recognize and respond to such incidents more effectively. Aircraft-specific awareness. ATR aircraft have unique control layouts, and pilots need recurrent training to ensure they are familiar with the exact placement and function of all critical levers. This tragic error highlights the importance of human factors in aviation safety, and serves as a critical lesson for airlines worldwide.